here from MNN. And it is Sunday night. I just came back a little while ago from Bridear. And it was a good show. It was a good show. All right. Now, first off, I was really excited because I saw Bridear back in January. I've mentioned this before, but one of my favorite pictures with any band, unfortunately, I've yet to have one taken with Bandmade, but one of my favorite pictures with a band is with Bridear. And this was taken January 6th of this year, I believe, at a place called The Cat's Hole with about 35 people, maybe 40, including staff and the band members themselves. So I was really excited to see them. I've always liked their music. I never pursued them uh, too much. I've mentioned before, and I'll probably mention again, I kind of kept myself from going too deep into any other band. It sounds weird, but I kind of kept myself from going too much into other bands just because I didn't want to lose as much money as I was losing following Bandmade. And I wanted to kind of hold on to a bit. But I took the plunge this year, and Bridear was actually the first band. Good morning, David. How are you today? Bridear was the first show of the year that I saw before Tokyo Garden Theater. And I went there with Michael Barber, Richard Hogan, um, met Rick Ruin there, and it was a great show. I don't want to go too much into that one, but it was interesting because we were seated, we had sake, we had pizza, we had some fried food, and it was just a good time. And it was my first time seeing Bridear live, and what a way to see them. And so I was excited today to see them. I was even more excited when I was able to get my ticket at 7-Eleven, and I'm not sure if you can see this, if it'll focus, but I was A3. I would have been the third person in line to go up, and unfortunately, I mistimed walking my dog today, coming back, going to the station, and then I ended up getting lost. So instead of being number three, I was probably, I don't know, number 30 or something. People were already up at the upstairs. It was in a building, couldn't find it. It was on the third floor, really just out of the way. It was at a place called ESP, and ESP actually is also a music school. And I think I heard that Moe, the new guitarist from Bridear, actually studied there. I'm not sure if she graduated there. Take all of that with a grain of salt, since I don't really know. Anyhow, uh, there were two opening acts. The first was a group called Roa no Oto Kaeshi. And I'm not even sure if that's the actual accurate kanji reading, but that's how it reads. That's one way to look at it. So, Roa no Oto Kaeshi, which translates into Roa's sound reversal, return, something like that. Three-piece band. They were cute. They seemed a um, like a college talent show band. They're really good. They're very competent. Their sound was much more sort of along the lines of a J-pop band with elements of jazz. There's only one song where there was a bit of distortion, but other than that, it was very light, very cute. Something that you would hear at the end of a drama or in a movie of a love story between high school students, something like that. Which isn't bad, but it's not totally my thing. Um, but you can tell in the performance they're very young. They're just kind of happy to do the songs and just enjoying themselves, which is great. And I think the funniest thing was watching the drummer because he looked like a Japanese David Spade. I don't know if you know who David Spade is from back in the day from SNL and um, Joe Dirt, other movies and shows, but I was just laughing, kind of watching him play, but they did a good job. The second was a much louder, heavier group. Their name is Ziola, Ziyola. Um, Female singer with bassist. He played a six-string bass. I haven't seen that in Japan. That's the first time I've seen somebody play a six-string. I've seen a five, a four, even a three. Um, but yeah, not a six. Guitarist, the drummer, and then a singer. Um, they weren't bad. They were heavy. They were loud. They rocked. The girl just sang clean vocals. I was surprised. I don't think I've heard a band that heavy with vocals that clean only, without some growling or screaming. So that was a little bit new. Again, not bad. Um, some of the performance seemed a bit forced. Hey, what's up, Silent? Uh, the guitarist. Have you guys know who I'm talking about? Those musicians who look like they're not musicians, like they're magicians, and they're just like ta da, ta da. So a little bit too much magic going on. And for me personally, not always the best kind. But again, as a band themselves, they weren't bad. The music was fine. Um, like a lot of the guys that were there were getting into it. But yeah. Hey, Jeff, yes. We're not talking about Sala now, but she is beautiful. She's a gorgeous person inside and out. She's very fun to talk to. And I always enjoy that. Now, those are the two opening bands, and then we get to Bridear. Bridear. They had an hour set. They came back with one encore, and I'm not familiar enough with Bridear's discography to be able to name every song off the top of my head. There's only a few, but it was an hour set, and man, it's just I really really enjoy them. They are just such a good band. They're such competent musicians. Um, let's see. Starting with Kimi. Oh, and I'll do it this way since I got these little acrylic stands. So Kimi, she is just she hits a sweet spot for me. Her tone, her timbre. I know everyone has different sort of singers that they're drawn to. Some of you guys are more into Fuller. Some of you guys are more into sort of the operatic style. I'm not into any of that stuff. I'm not into Nightwish. I'm not into some of those. I don't know how you would describe them. Anyway, I'm not into that. But for me, it's Psyche. Um, Kimi, I think she hits a tone that I really, really, really like. And when she sings just certain notes, it just kind of like, it just gets me right there. But she's a great singer. She's a great headbanger. Um, she's got this certain way of holding herself and holding her mic and kind of getting the crowd going. And seeing it twice, both in January and today, yeah, she's got definitely has her thing down. But I think she's just a great singer, and even a songwriter. Looking at some of the credits of the songs that she's written, but really enjoyed her performance. And I love just some of the melodies and the way that she sings that. Yeah, no, she's great. She is great. Um, Again, she's one of those singers that you can tell right away who she is. Um, there are certain singers that I've heard and sort of fall in the same genre who sound very similar. The way they intonate, the way they kind of hit notes, their melodies, it's very similar. But with Kimi, there's something very, very distinct and unique about her tone and just the way she delivers things. So I do. She is one of my favorite singers. I like her a lot. She did an awesome job today. Now, um, let me go to Haru. I find her hilarious. Haru is the bassist, and she is someone who kind of surprises you. Up until January when I saw them live, I didn't realize that she was sort of the growler of the group. I guess I just didn't see enough of their music videos and whatnot. but she's the smallest one. Um, I do love punk. Punk is just my go-to when it comes to just the attitude, the feel. I love the delivery of just that rawness. More so than being sophisticated or like sort of over the top like technicalities, not technicalities, techniques. Can't think of the word. Um, yeah, more than sort of the high caliber kung fu. I just like brutal in your face. But going back to Haru, it's funny because she's got a bow. She's very cute looking, almost like a little pixie or an elf, and then she goes raw. She just like throws it out, and she's so good at it. She's so good. Not only as someone who growls, but as someone who sings backup along with Kimi, and that's something that stood out to me. Um, with her and with Ayumi, the guitarist. So this is Ayumi, and she's a great guitarist. She has a great sensibility of, um, yeah, of just her solos. Just her sound is great. Just it's very chunky, and I believe she plays a dean. I could be mistaken, but she also sings really well. Her and Haru did a great job of singing backup with Kimi, and there were points during the show that I was like, man, they're just good vocalists too. So I enjoyed them a lot. But with her, Ayumi, and with Moe, and this is where I got slightly teary eyed. So this is Moed, the most recent addition. She is another guitarist, and this is Ayumi. And one of the things that I love and appreciate about Bridear is that they're one of the bands that I think does dual guitars really, really well. They do an awesome job of just doing just dual work, guitar work, and it's great stuff. It's technical, but it's melodic, and um, it's sophisticated. I think it's weird. I think they might be underappreciated as being as musical and talented of a band as they actually are, but they did an awesome job. And the reason why I got a little bit teary eyed was when I saw Bridear in January. Hmm, Moe still, I don't think quite had broken herself in. But today, during the live, she was happier, she was grooving, she was headbanging, she was enjoying herself compared to what she was in January, which is very just stiff and shy and almost scared. She did a great job guitar wise then, but tonight you could tell she was just a lot more comfortable where she stood and what she was doing, and kind of taking more ownership. But again, her guitar work as well as Ayumi separately and together, they're an awesome duo. Um, so that was something that I really enjoyed a lot. And going lastly to Natsumi, the drummer, and I don't know. It's tough to say, but I think she's my favorite. I think she's my favorite member of the band, or just about. She's the most active on Twitter from all the members. She's just really fun. She's very cute, and I thought this back when I saw her in January. But she's like Akane's younger sister in college. Cool in her own ways, in her own rights, and she can just drop that beat. She can go heavy, she can go sophisticated. She has great technique, great sound, and she's just smiling and enjoying herself the whole time. So great to hear Bridear tonight and to see them perform. And what I appreciated was not only could they go heavy, but they also brought a lot of mood. They sang a couple of songs off of Aegis of Athena, and it was good. It was good stuff. The lighting, Just the background music, the effects. It really captured, I think, and captivated my attention. So that was a little unexpected, for it to be that. Not It wasn't moody, but there were moments of mood that really captured me. So I was glad to see that. It was cool to see that. And one of the highlights, well, I got to hear Ignite back in January, and Ignite is probably one of my favorite songs from Bridear. But they sang Eyes of Doubt, and that was it's a great song. Overall, it's just a great song. It was actually written. I don't know how much of it, but it was something that was offered by Moe, and that's an awesome song. That means she definitely is very talented, and I know Kimi definitely added a lot more with melodies and then with the lyrics, but a great song on recording, but an amazing, amazing song live. I mean, because it's heavier, it's in that moment, it's in the air when you throw it out, and yeah, they're an awesome band, and I would definitely recommend that you guys, if you ever come to Japan, to see them. And yeah, I do hope that they do go to the States. They did go over to Europe during COVID times, I think like 2 years back, which is why they have the live album, Aegis of London. So I hope that they do go to the States, and I don't know, I'm gonna try. I think they do actually have plans to tour overseas because as I was on my way back home, I actually saw an interview with them, and I'll try to find it and post it below in the description. But Kimi was talking about sort of secret plans of a tour, and I'm just hoping it is the States because I think regardless of how much overturn there's been, and I know people have been sort of sad and disappointed about members leaving, but I think the lineup that Bridear has right now is really, really solid, and they're really fun, and they're really great. So I hope that they can sort of continue to gel together, create some awesome music together, and that they do to their tour the States because I think there will not be a lack of fans, and I think people will be excited to go see them and will not be disappointed if they do go and see them live. The other thing that I noted, especially comparing the previous two opening acts, and granted, Brighter's been around for a while, but um, Brighter is a really sophisticated band. They have sophisticated songwriting. Um, they've got movements in their songs. I mean, Aegis of Athena was almost uh it was almost just this concept album. And if you listen to that album, which is an amazing album, to say the least, you'll hear that there is a thread that follows through, and there are really sophisticated movements. Uh, Again, I love Kimi's delivery, her melodies, the way she delivers them, and just how the band comes together. And live, it's um, it's so much more exciting. It's so much more exciting. So anyhow, I'm gonna see. I don't know. I don't know if I'm being too greedy, but I'm gonna see if I can reach out to maybe one or a couple of the members, kind of gradually see if they'd be willing to do an interview. I don't want Hades and Salah to be sort of a 1-2 off and have it just be them. Although I'm so glad it wasn't to begin with. But I think even Bridear, even though they've been around for a while and they do have their fans, it does seem like it'd be great if they could get even more exposure and have fans get even more excited about them and what they're doing right now. They're a little bit under the radar, to be honest, in Japan. There aren't too many shows that they're doing, so. But I'm hoping that they'll get a little bit more active, do a little bit more, and yeah, hopefully go out to the States because I think they're one of those bands that will have a following, that does have a fan base there, and that we'll be very excited to see them wherever they are in the States, whether it be LA or New York or Dallas, any one of those places. So, all right, yeah, that is that for today with this concert review. I hope you enjoyed it. I do hope that you guys get a chance to listen to some Bridear if you have not yet. One of my favorite songs is Ignite. There's another song or a couple of songs off of Expose Your Emotions. And I don't know if you actually know uh, that album. It's not the most popular, and I think it's sung mostly, if not all, in Japanese. I think mostly. But there's a song called Mirror that I really, really love. And for some reason, I can't remember the other one. But yeah, I'll post links below to some songs. You guys can check it out if you have time. But again, they're another band that I think have been around. People know about them, but they're definitely worth, I think, investing in and really kind of promoting in your own ways, in your own rights. Okay. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. It is 10 o'clock Sunday evening. I do have work tomorrow, but thank you so much for watching. I will do my best to try to get out to more shows to, again, promote not just MNN, but to promote these bands and hopefully get you guys a little bit more interested. And I do encourage you, even with the merch that I bought today for Bridear, it's there's always a little bit of pain because uh I am not the wealthiest man in the world. Um but I realize what I'm doing is helping them to continue the work that they're doing. And I love the work that these Japanese bands do and the amazing gift they provide to all of us. Every time you listen to some good music from Japan, you know, show some appreciation back. So, all right, guys, I will see you when I see you. Actually, I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first show. Gosh darn it, is it Shizuoka? No, it's Shinjuku. Zep Shinjuku. That's correct, right? Tomorrow. Somebody correct me or tell me tell me Bandmate is playing tomorrow, which means that there will be a tattoo coming up. So that will be later on in the evening once I get back from work and things are kind of settled. I will put that up for you guys to see. And then the next one will be, I think, over the weekend. So there'll be a little bit break in between that. There is a video. There's still an interview with Sala coming up. Yes, I did see that with Matsu Patty. That was cool that they spoke in English, which means that um, they had the questions beforehand. They answered it. They translated it. So they did a lot of work for that. I'm hoping that the kind of interview I can do for them is different because I can actually speak in Japanese to them and interact with them. So I'm hoping that will add a little bit of a different light and color to the interviews versus other overseas interviews with them, which always kind of requires a translator. And in no way am I tooting my own horn. I'm not the best at speaking Japanese, but I realize not having that middleman in between does make a difference in how they respond and sort of the spontaneity of the moment. So the acrylics, I've only seen them in Japan, so I don't know where else they'll be available. But if I find out, I will let you know. Okay? All right. Um, thank you guys. If you have any more questions, please comment. I'll answer as soon as I can. As I said, interview with Sala coming up. We do have an interview with Russ Henry. And if you don't know who Russ Henry is, then you will find out who he is. And you will appreciate him and the work that he is doing because he is also spreading the good news of Japanese music around to all over. So, all right, guys, thank you. I will see you again. Enjoy your day, your evening, your night. Until we meet again, this has been Peter from MNN. Sayonara! Oh, Jeff, okay. It's possible I might see you. I'll be at Hiroshima for Bandmate. Okay, guys, Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Carl. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay. Uh, my brain. Bye, guys.